Smart Parties here at the lake with some friends, so I'm going to make them some blueberry muffins for Sunday breakfast. What we're going to need is we're going to need some flour, some sugar, some salt, vanilla extract, or you can use almond extract, baking powder, milk, room temperature eggs, butter, blueberries. Now I'll get started and we'll start mixing them up. You're going to mix them up into all the dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet ingredients in another bowl. And we'll get to mixing. You're going to need about half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick. Then you're going to need 2 cups of flour. You're going to need 1 cup of sugar. You're going to have 2 eggs room temperature. You're going to have 1 teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of milk. You're going to have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, about 2.5 cups of blueberries, and you're going to have about 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar to sprinkle on the muffins before they bake. So those are your ingredients and measurements, and now we'll get to mixing. Okay, we're gonna soften the butter in the microwave so it's not really melted but just kind of softened. And then we're gonna cream that with the sugar with our mixer. Okay, I put it in for about 16 seconds and it's pretty softened. Now we'll add our sugar into our melted butter, 1 cup of sugar. Then we're going to mix this so it's all creamy and kind of fluffy together. So we're going to mix this about 3 minutes. Okay, now that we've got our butter mixed, we're going to add our eggs one at a time and mix them in. Now we'll go over to our bar and we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, now we're going to add in our vanilla. Recipe calls for 1 tablespoon, but I like to add a little extra vanilla, so I'll probably do about 2. Gives a little extra vanilla flavor. Like I said, you can use almond extract too, or even a lemon if you want a different kind of add-on flavor. Then we're going to now go and beat the vanilla in. Okay, now we got our wet ingredients we're going to set aside. Now we're going to mix our dry ingredients in a separate bowl. So that's 2 cups of flour. Sifted, so I kind of just loosen it up a little. It's 1 cup. 2 cups there, and then we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So there are 2 teaspoons baking powder, and then we have a half teaspoon of our salt. So just kind of mix it in. It's about half. There we go. Now we're gonna stir our dry ingredients, kind of mix them all in. Make sure that baking powder is mixed through. Now we're gonna alternating mix our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients, alternating with the milk. So we'll mix some of our dry ingredients in. Just about a third of it. Now we'll pour some milk in here. Dry ingredient. Now we're going to pour some more milk. Okay, now that we got all our milk and flour alternated mixed in, now you're going to band in your spoon, and we're going to have to do this, mix the blueberries in here by hand. So if you use the spoon, you're going to break the blueberries, and then your batter is going to turn purple. So usually we'll rinse our blueberries, make sure the stems and everything are out, because you know when you get the blueberries sometimes they have that little bit of stem. So you go through and mix them all, put them in like a paper so they get no water. Just gonna dump them all in there. This is about 2.5 cups. Now all you're gonna do is you're gonna just mix them in with your hand. So you just kind of fold it over. Comes the messy, icky part. There, that's about good. Okay, now we got all our berries mixed in by hand. We're going to get our spoon back out now, and we're going to fill these cups about 2/3 full. Make sure some have enough blueberries and enough dough kind of evenly. Then we're going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees, and we're going to bake these for about 35 minutes. So I'm going to fill all these up, and then we'll show you getting ready to put them in the oven, because we're going to sprinkle sugar on top of these before we put them in the oven, so it'll give a nice crispy sugary topping. Okay, now we got all our cups full. Now we're going to come back with our teaspoons of sugar and just kind of sprinkle sugar on top of these before we put them in the oven. Okay, now that we got all our sugar put on top, now we're going to put these in the oven, and we're going to bake these for about 30-35 minutes until they're kind of golden brown. Okay, now that they're done, it was about 30 minutes. Just take your fork and kind of make it loose. You can bring them out and put them on a pan to cool off. Break one open so you guys can see. There it is. We'll finish getting these all up and on the tray, and those are your blueberry muffins.